Okay, friends. So we discussed VI and cat, right? Now we discussed touch command. So touch command is actually in real case it is not that much important. Okay, because see, with the help of touch command, we can create empty file. Okay, and why we create empty file now? Okay, if we create file, then obviously we write something. So directly using VI, okay, directly using VI, we can use like we can create one file. Okay, and using command we can create empty file. Okay, so if you want to write something, obviously you need to go to VI editor. Okay, with the help of VI, again we have to modify content. Okay, and same we can do with the help of cat also. Okay, so what happen when suppose we want to create one file abc.txt. So just we write, and instead of abc, already we have created abc.txt. So let us say file1.txt. Okay, so just it creates one empty file. Okay, so let me do in console. Okay, so let me go to directory. Okay, you can verify with the help of pwd. I'm in home directory of EC2 user. Okay, and here I'm creating one empty file, post touch and file.txt. Okay, if you do ls, now see, one file is created, and if you read this file, then nothing is there. Okay, oh, space is there. I have to remove space. Nothing. Nothing is there because it is empty. So what with the pop command you can create empty file. So no use. Okay, because if you want to create file and if you want to add some content, we have two options. We can use either VI or we can use cat. Okay. Now let me okay, so let me show you how if you want to create multiple file. Okay, suppose we want to create file1 dot txt and file2 dot txt. Okay, not and. Okay, we are creating two files. We can create one more file, file3 dot txt. Okay, now see, if we use ls, then see, we have file1 dot txt, file2 dot txt, file3 dot txt. Okay, so using single command simultaneously in one go, we can create three files. But they are empty, obviously. Okay. Now, okay, so we can create n number of files. Okay, so suppose we want to create 50 files. Okay, so we can create with the help of command. So what you have to do? You have to write file, then in curly bracket. Okay, so you have to write now already. We have 1, 2, 3 file. So let me start from 4, then 2 dot, and then 50. Okay, and extension we can give at the end. Ext. Okay, so what this command does, it creates file4.txt, file5.txt, and so on. So let me hit enter and let me do ls. Okay, now see, we have file 28. Okay, you can see file up to file 50.txt. Here I can see 40, 44, here 50. Okay, so it starts from 4. Okay, so 4, 5, 6 up to 50. So it creates almost 45 files from 4 to 50, or you can say, I think 47 files from 4 to 50. Okay, so again, no, actually in real scenario, it has no use. Okay, so that's it. This is the use of touch command. Okay. Now, friends, okay, so what happened? Yeah, just I discussed if you want to add content. Okay, so suppose uh, we want to do some changes in file4.txt. Okay, then just use vi, then type whatever, first use enter and then type your content. Okay, then save and exit and save. Okay, now if you have cat, if you read cat file, okay, 4.txt. Now see, we can see content. So if you create empty file, still you have to use a vi editor. Okay, so better way, directly use vi editor, because what happens, suppose we want to create some file. Suppose I want to create some file. Okay, demo.txt. Now demo.txt is not present here. Okay, but if you use vi, then it will create one file, and at the same time we can edit. Here we can edit. Okay, so I'm not saving this. So directly I'm creating. Okay, so with the help of vi, create file as well as you can add content. Okay, so that's why touch is not that much helpful. Okay, now in the previous session we discussed cat. So let me again discuss some. So we discussed just uh, how to read content. Okay, so we discuss -n, -b. Okay, different flags which used in we can use it with the cat command. Okay, now there is one more. Actually, see, for cat, I already explained you in the previous session that cat using cat you can create, you can read file. Okay, and in order to display content you can use cat. And there is one more advantage, friend. Okay, for concatenated you can use the same command. Okay, so what you can do, suppose I use cat, and suppose I use greater than sign arrow. Okay, now if we have, let me go in file4.txt. Okay, so here what we can do, you can, actually it should be dot. So file4.txt. So this is the content. Okay, and if you want to do some changes, okay, then directly you can use cat greater than. Okay, so let me hit enter. Okay, and now here you can type your content. Okay, so this is using cat. Okay, and in order to come outside this, because if you hit enter, then it goes in the next line. Okay, so in order to come out of this, okay, what you can do, use control plus D, control and D. Okay, and if you take now content in file4.txt, now see, this is using cat. But what happened? Original content get eliminated. Okay, and new content is replaced. So when we use single arrow, okay, original content get replaced. Okay, and only that means it overrides. Okay, with the so in, if you do not want to override, suppose you want content as well, suppose you want to add some line, then in that case you can use double arrow. Okay, in order to avoid overwritten. Okay, so here what happened, this is second line using cat. Okay, hit enter, and in order to come out, control D. Okay, and now if you see content in the file, then you can see this file is there, this line is there. Okay, and this is newly added content. Okay, so if you find the content, then use this sign twice. If you want to overwrite, then use single greater than sign. Okay, now apart of this, okay, so suppose we want to create one file. Now we haven't created demo.txt. Now suppose I want to create file. Okay, so demo.txt. Okay, now demo.txt is not present. Okay, so if you see ls, then see here we do not have demo.txt. Okay, so if you use cat, if you want to create file at the same time, if you want to write some content, then you can use cat greater than demo.txt. Okay, so you with the help of cat also you can create this file. Okay, now the file is created. Okay, and write content. Okay, write anything. Okay, then Control D in order to come out of this, and then use cat to display the content. Okay, now see here. Okay, and if you do ls, then you can see we have demo.txt. This file was not present. So using cat, okay, using this, we have created new file, and at the same time we write some content. Okay, same can be done with the help of vi. Again, need not to use this cat. Okay, but just I want to show you this feature of cat. Okay, so that's it. So apart of this touch cat, then we have one mkdir command. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so with the help of mkdir command, we can create directory. Okay, so let me create one directory here, mkdir cloud. Okay, so if you hit enter now, and if you press ls, now you can see this directory cloud. Okay, so using mkdir, this is useful command because sometimes we need to create directory. Okay, this is very helpful command. Okay, now suppose we want to create more directory. Okay, mkdir Azure. Okay, AWS, CP, Oracle Cloud. Okay, if you hit enter and if you press, okay, now see AWS one directory is created. Okay, we have Azure. Okay, GCP, OCS. So all these directories are created. So multiple directory you can create with the help of this. Okay, now suppose, now see we are in home directory of EC2 user. Okay, we are inside the EC2 user. Okay, now if I want to go in AWS and I want to create one folder, so how we can do this? So for that we can use relative path. Okay, what we can do, we can use make dir. Okay, and you want to go inside AWS, so just write AWS, do not write slash, because this is in EC2 user, this is not in root. If you write slash, okay, that means it refers root directory, okay, which is wrong. Write mkdir AWS, and then here in AWS create one directory EC2. Okay, so if you hit enter, okay, see you can have you can EC2. Okay, so for that what we can do, just here also, from here also you can check content with the help of EC2 with the help of ls command. Okay, so because we know entire path, right? So we can write ls and do not write EC2 because we want to check content in AWS. Okay, now see we have EC2. Okay, any doubt? Okay, or there is one more option. Directly you can go in AWS and then you type ls. Okay, if you use this ls AWS, that means we are listing content in AWS. Okay. Now, suppose you want to suppose okay, so we have created directory. Now, suppose I want to create. Okay, I want to create one directory. Say, let us say, see, I am in AWS now. Okay, sorry, PWD. See, I am in AWS now. Okay, and in AWS, I have only EC2. Let me create more directory. So mkdir. Suppose I want to create one directory called as S3. In S3, I want to create one, suppose I want to create folders. Okay, so I want to create two folders. Okay, so in order to create multiple folders, okay, in parent directory, we use curly bracket. Okay, so I want to create one directory whose name is replication. Okay, and I want to create one more directory. Okay, with the name versioning. Okay, so what I'm say I am already in AWS. Okay, I am already in AWS. Okay, so what I'm doing, let me explain you on whiteboard. Okay, already I am in AWS. Okay, so this is AWS. Okay, in AWS already we have created one directory EC2. Now I want to create one directory S3. Inside S3 I want to create two directory with the name replication and versioning. Okay, so if me go here, okay, so if I hit enter, now it will not allow us to create this. Okay, hey, what is the reason? What is the reason? Because this S3 is not present. Okay, S3 is not present. Okay, so if you do S, now see, we have only one directory EC2. Okay, so here we need to create S3. And within S3, we want to create this directory. Okay, so here we can say, if you go in whiteboard, see, if you can say for these two directories, okay, for these two directory, S3 is parent directory. Okay, so when parent directory itself is not present, we cannot create replication. Okay, so in this case, we have to use one flag. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to use mkdir, but we want to create S3 parent directory as well. Here we use -p. Okay, now if you hit enter, now see there is no error. That means if there is no error, okay, if it shows this path, that means this command is executed successfully. Now, if you do S, if we have EC2 S3, let us go to S3. We can check present working directory. Inside home, we have EC2. Inside EC2, we have AWS. Inside AWS, there is S3. If you use LS, now see, we have replication and version, these two directories. Is it okay? And let me explain one more concept. Okay, we discussed uh, uh, earlier. So relative path, right? Now see here, I am here, PWD. Okay. Now inside EC2, we know we have AWS. So what I want to take the contained S3 only. Okay. So what we can do, we can write AWS, and inside AWS there is S3. So direct write this relative path. Okay. Now see, we can see replication and we can see versioning. Okay. So this is the use of this relative path. Okay, and second option is directly go in AWS, then go in S3, and then use LS. Okay, so LS, this relative path you can use with LS, any command, CD. Okay, in order to cat, we can use this concept of relative path as well as absolute path. Okay, so this is only use of mkdir. Using mkdir, we can create directories. Obviously they are empty directories. Okay, and we can create different subdirectory as well. Okay, so let me show you one more example. So suppose, let me take ls. So here we have lot of content. So let us say I want to create one directory A. Okay, inside A, I want to create subdirectory B. Inside B, I want to create one more subdirectory C. Inside this, I want to create one more directory D. Okay. Now, if you do this, now see we have A. Okay. And if you go in B, then if you can see B, go in B and do ls, you can see C directory. Inside C, S, you can see directory D. Let me clear everything. Then inside D, okay. Now see, this is our present directory. Inside home, EC2 user, inside EC2 user, we have A, then subdirectory B, C, D, and so on. Okay, and this is done with the help of this command, mkdir minus P. Okay, so flag P represent parent directory. It create parent directory as well as child directories, okay, or subdirectories. Okay, and if you do ls, this is empty. Okay, using mkdir command, we create empty directory, but this is required. Okay, we create empty directory. Okay, not empty files. Okay, so in the next session we discuss rm, mv, and copy command. Okay, so let me stop recording first.